All right, it is official. We are now live, coming in a few minutes early. Let's see if I can get a few things set up. Want to make sure we're all good. Oh, look, there it is. There it is. Oh, baby. All right, how's everybody doing today? It is Wednesday, September 27th. Beautiful day outside. I'm just gonna share this so that we are distributing it everywhere. Share on your own timeline. We are live. All right. That's now been shared. Let's just make sure that that worked. And it worked. Perfect. What's up, everybody? Hope that you guys are doing great. Really excited about this listing day live. Welcome, 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 welcome. If you guys have any problems with sound or anything, let me know, but you should be able to hear me pretty well. Got my whole new setup here. I'm actually kind of really geeked out and excited to be using this new setup. So I actually have my Canon 70D processing through the computer to go live, and then I got my microphone going on here, which is pretty cool. Excited to be using these kind of fun tools. It's kind of fun to do that stuff. So if you guys are looking for some fun equipment, you can pick up this stuff and do it all yourself as well. The app that I'm using so that I can get this, I don't know how to point to it right there, this text here and these images, Ecamm Live, awesome app, not expensive at all. I think it's like $30. You can bucket it together with Skype call recorder as well. And it's really cool going live app so you can see stuff. And awesome. Good to see you, Carolyn. I like that. New listings. Let's rock it. We are having a busy fall, so just kind of a quick little overview update as people are joining in. Fall market is starting. Probably wherever you are, you're experiencing the same thing, but it's definitely starting here in New Jersey. Summer was busy. It was active. Had a good amount of listings go on, lots of buyer activity. There is still a shortage of inventory across many different price points, particularly that first-time home buyer market. Wherever you're located, that price point will change, but I'm sure that market segment where young buyers are in, very tight, seeing multiple offer situations happening there, which is tough. Really tough for those buyers, and tough for you guys, for you buyers agents out there working with your buyers on that. I was talking with someone, and actually we kind of discussed this at our office meeting this morning, about the penny more concept. And if you have buyers going into these multiple offer situations, they need to be mentally prepared to be at one penny more, that house would be too expensive for them. They want to be comfortable with whatever price that they go in at. If they lose it, it's going to be okay because they wouldn't pay a penny more. So if you guys are working with buyers in these multiple offer scenarios, work on that whole mindset of getting to the penny more, and I think it'll help them win the properties that they want to win, or hopefully one property if that's what they're looking for, just a single house. So, all right, welcome. Got a few more people coming in. Awesome. Great. Okay, so a couple topics that we are going to be talking about here today. It is the last week of September, so it is the last week of Realtor Safety Month. If you guys follow along on my blog, I did post a video this morning giving a few quick tips. If you haven't watched it, go over there and check it out, MatthewJBonelli.com. Safety is something that I think we talk about a lot, certainly since there's been things highlighted over the past 5 years with some unfortunate and really tragic kidnappings and things that have happened to realtors. And so when we focus on realtor safety for only 1 month, we really should be talking about it all year round. And you guys can practice this stuff every day. A few tips of just like paying attention a little extra to the surroundings around you. And especially now that it's going to be getting dark earlier, not meeting buyers for the first time after dark at vacant homes. This is just kind of rule number one. Don't do that. Meet people at the offices. Bring flashlights with you. Even during the daytime, flashlights can be handy, especially those tactical ones that can actually temporarily blind people. Not like blind, but like throw them off so you can either, get away or whatever you need to do. A new app that I've actually been playing with, Life 360, pretty cool. It was developed by the same people who developed the Find My Friends app for the Apple iPhones. And it's a neat family tracking app. It's actually free. You can upgrade to a driver protection where it, I guess, would call emergency services and things like that. But you can have free location tracking with your family with the Life 360 app. So if that's something you're interested in, highly recommend checking that out because it is free and it doesn't drain a lot of battery power and it's very, very accurate. So you can keep tabs on people, and when you're out doing showings, you can have your spouse or your friends or your colleagues know where you are, just in case. So if you guys have any other tips on that stuff, feel free to share it in the comment section and all that stuff. But that's my quick little thing on realtor safety. You guys can go back and watch the blog post, but just please do be careful out there, especially now that it's getting darker out there. So the big topic that I kind of want to talk about, and this is actually going to be a little bit of, hopefully not a lot of rambling, but I'm kind of thinking of what I can do to help you all answer some of the questions about how to use social media in real estate, particularly Instagram and Facebook, two very popular platforms. And with Instagram, I think it is a great platform. If you're not on there yet, it's great because it's pictures and real estate does really well on there. But the challenge is, how do you use it? How do you get activity from it? And I think a lot of people are on Facebook, on Instagram, hoping that they're going to sell their listings on there, and it's not happening. I think that's because the expectations are set too high, quite honestly. And let me first also say that I am by no means a social media expert. I can only offer some feedback on the things that I'm doing and what I'm seeing working, and the conversations that I have. I try to connect with other people that are using social media to see what's working for them. So I'm by no means an expert. You got to get out there and play in the apps to really figure out what's going on. But I think when you think about social media, think of it more as social networking than media. Gary Vaynerchuk at his keynote at Inman Connect 2 years ago was very popular among the realtor community because he said, you guys are a media company, comma, real estate agent. And that's very true. When it comes to social media, though, we do want to be promoting listings, but you don't want to be doing all that all the time. And in fact, I would say you want to be doing that a very small percentage of the time compared to everything else you're doing on these social networking sites. These are sites that you can actually use to connect with people. The whole purpose is to try to get people to engage. You might make your seller happy by posting something on Facebook or on Instagram. Maybe they're happy to see that's out there and you should be doing that, but you really need to be making those connections. Otherwise, you're not going to see any results from it. I've actually met some people through networking within Instagram, using direct messages, commenting on other people's stuff. I think I actually test out sometimes. I'll comment on other real estate agents' posts, not in my market area, because I like to test it somewhere else where people don't know who I am, and to see if they engage back. And a lot of times they don't, which is really sad, because that means they're just posting a picture, hoping that it does something, but then they're not tracking any engagement in there. There's no call to action. There's no redirection anywhere. Maybe it's like, oh, click the link in my bio, to see this listing and everything. But it's when you're doing that, it's really just kind of glorified postcards. And yes, postcards do work, but you have the power of this whole network in there behind all of this stuff. Use it more than just to basically flash, here's my new listing, here's my open house. Actually engage with people. Carolyn Gallant, one of our agents here at Turpin, actually did a really cool thing one time. She did a Facebook Live kind of tour of her listing, and it was fun. Those are things where you can kind of get off the cuff a little bit. It's not as polished, but it's more real, and people like engaging with real stuff, because people love looking at beautiful photos, don't get me wrong, but when they can engage and see like, oh, this is real, it's a lot more fun, it's exciting. They feel that they can see the real person who you are behind the title of real estate agent, and they can see the property for what it really is. So bravo for those of you who are using Facebook Live or Facebook Video to kind of showcase your listings and talk about who you are and what you do and showing your process. Another agent here, Kathy Rassiopi, has been doing videos at a development project that Turpin has listed, Minebrook Farm in Basking Ridge, and doing video updates there. Very cool. A lot of the feedback or things that I hear from people who start doing video and social media is, I'm nervous. What do I do on camera? I hear you. I'm nervous right now in front of this camera doing all this, and that is hard. So I think the key is you just got to start doing it. Once you do the first one, yes, maybe it'll take you like 10 takes or 20 takes, or maybe you don't even post that first video, but at least you started to do it. And then you do the second one, and it gets easier, and it gets easier. And the same thing goes for how you post things on things like Instagram and Facebook. Once you start finding your channel of how you want to talk and communicate on these social networks, it gets easier over time. Because I will say that these networks that you use, if you're using a personal branded account, so even if you have a Facebook business page or your Instagram account is set up as a business account, but it's branded to you, John Smith, Realtor, this is the cover page of who you are. And this is what's going to give people kind of a window into what it would be like to work with you as a professional. So remember that and use this as an opportunity to kind of show people who you really are as a person and as a real estate agent. Give them a little snapshot of what's going on inside your life. If you go on my Instagram newsfeed, you'll see a lot of kind of motivational quotes, because I'm big into that. I love, trying to help people get motivated and everything. So I try to really do a lot more of that in my feed than posting pictures of properties that my office has listed and that Turpin has listed. And hey, the property photos sometimes get way more engagement than any of the other stuff that I have on there in terms of the number of likes and all that stuff. But I see the most quality engagement coming from posts that are more kind of fit with my values and things that I want to do. So I would suggest when you guys get onto these social networks, particularly Instagram, figure out what you want to talk about and start talking about it. If a post flops, you can delete it. It's not that big of a deal. You can go on Instagram stories. They disappear after 24 hours, and you can delete them sooner if you don't like what it is. But the key is to actually jump into the app on your phone and start doing it. Let me think. Facebook. So we talked a lot about Instagram. Facebook is a great forum. I don't use Facebook as well as I should. I post my videos there, which is great. The comments threads that you can get on a good quality Facebook post can be fantastic. So if you have a Facebook business page, which I highly recommend you do, because a Facebook business page allows you to do ads, which the Facebook ads market is the most underpriced place to do ads right now. Yes, there's a lot of reports coming out. There was an article in Inman saying it's getting more expensive to do targeted ads on Facebook. That's true. It's still way less expensive than trying to do a targeted direct mail campaign. So if you haven't looked into Facebook ads, definitely do that. Get a Facebook business page so that you don't even have to post any content on there. Although, just like with everything else, it is a cover page for who you are, so you do want it to look nice and clean. The difference between using your Facebook business page and your Facebook personal page. So your personal page is personal. That doesn't mean that you can't ever put business related things on there. But the way I look at it is, first of all, anything with any social media account, your personal Facebook page or your Facebook business page should be about providing value to the people you're talking to. And that goes with relationships you have in general. You want to provide value to the other person. I know a lot of people use Facebook as a way to complain and share their opinions, and I understand people need outlets for that kind of thing. But if you really want to grow the perspective of who you are and let people know who you are as a person, think about what value you're bringing to the platform. And by the way, sharing what you're doing on the weekend with your family can be bringing a lot of value to people who don't get to talk to you very often. Someone at our office meeting today was mentioning that they really enjoy seeing their cousin post pictures of what's going on with their children because they feel a lot more connected to them. And it actually influences them to reach out more often and to hit the like button, hit the love button, hit the ha-ha button, whatever it is, and connect. And I've seen tremendous power in people on the personal side of Facebook connecting with people in times of need, people who are going through tough times. Certainly with the hurricane devastation that's going on right now, and it starting with Harvey here in the continental U.S., people reaching out on Facebook and connecting, getting donations put together, getting groups put together to physically go and help, which I think is incredible, and we're going to see a lot more of that. So I would say on the personal side of things, keep your mind also a little bit, if you're worried about people going crazy about politics and things that you're not interested in, just kind of try to block that out. And you can actually, this is an interesting thing. So this whole follow me thing that's going around Facebook right now, which I did find an article, and those people actually aren't following you, by the way, if they're not friends with you. Your privacy settings do work. But you can choose to have people not show up in your newsfeed. So you can still be friends with that person who complains about politics all the time, but then just go and change a setting so that their stuff doesn't show up in their newsfeed, so that when you log into Facebook, you're not bringing in all that negative energy that you don't want to have. And so then make sure that you're putting out positive energy, because other people then can take you out of their newsfeed. And if you're not in their newsfeed, then you're not connecting with them. You're not providing that value. So make sure you're bringing a lot of positivity. So, okay, sorry, went off track here for a little bit. Personal Facebook stuff, stick to the personal stuff. What are you about? What do you like to do? Use Facebook that way. I don't really post a lot on my personal page. For those of you who are friends with me on there, you'll see that. But I am trying to fit a way to populate my business page with stuff by using higher level ideas like motivation and things like that. And then all my real estate related stuff pretty much primarily lives on my Facebook business page. And I'll, mix in some personal stuff on there just to keep it fresh. So it's not just, here's another blog post, here's another video from Matt, which over the past couple of weeks, it kind of did get a little stale like that. So I'm certainly at fault for a lot of this stuff. Thank you, Elena. Good off-track stuff. Thank you. When you have a post on your business page, for example, that you think would be relevant to bring value to your personal community, share it over. I did a video about tips for new real estate agents, and I posted on my business page. But a lot of people are interested in what it's like being a real estate agent on my personal side of things, so I shared that over and got some good kind of likes and stuff out of it, and people enjoyed it. So the way I look at it is, if you think to yourself, would you want to see this post in this element? When you go on Facebook, you're looking to get a feed of certain things, right? You either want to see what's going on in your friends' lives, and maybe there's some business pages that you like, and you want to get some good pump-up content from them, or other type of educational content. For example, I follow Gary Vaynerchuk, and he posts all the time, and there's every now and then there's like the short video where I'm like, oh, I'm going to go watch this 30-second video because it's going to pump me up for the day. And I want to go into my feed and see that stuff. Sometimes I get off track with kitten videos and puppies and all the other fun stuff that everybody loves on Facebook, but that does happen. So think about those two things. Will this bring value to the community that's going to be seeing this? And remember, the people who like your business page are not the same people that are following you and friends with you necessarily. And this is actually probably a good kind of segue into, by the way, I'm going to try to put together a more comprehensive thought and about social media, and I'm going to start to document some of the things that I'm doing, just so you guys kind of understand some of the nuances of things, like using hashtags, tagging locations, tagging people, what apps to use to get things fitting in the square and Instagram, how to get video on there, how to edit video, things like that, things that would hopefully be easy for you to do from your phone. So I'm going to work on a longer version of that, and or a shorter version, however it works out. More concise, less of me kind of going off track. But social media is a good topic to kind of segue into the difference between branding versus marketing versus selling as a real estate salesperson. That's what you guys are, real estate salespeople. A lot of people think that branding and marketing are the same thing, and that marketing and sales are the same thing. I will say that marketing and sales are way closer related than branding and marketing. Branding is, for a loose definition, anything that defines who you are or what your business is without actually selling anybody anything. So branding is the way your photos look, the way your headshot looks, the way you write, the way you talk when you do video, the way you present yourself when you're standing in front of a client, when you're sitting in front of a client, when you're talking to somebody on the phone. This is all branding stuff. Marketing is, here's my new listing, here's my open house, price reduction, come check out this. And then the selling is the actual act of engaging with people and getting them from being interested in something to being really interested and actually purchasing that. So do know that there is significant differences. What I really want to focus on is branding versus marketing, because so many people focus in on real estate marketing. How can I market better my services? It's a good question, because you want more business, right? You want to bring in more leads. Certainly, I think the best way to market yourself is to just engage with your sphere a little bit more and build the relationships you already have, but I'm not going to go into that right now. Marketing would be like Facebook ads, something, a track or a funnel that you would use to drive people from somewhere, whether that's just out on the internet, driving past a billboard, to funnel them to a place where there is a call to action. Expensive. Marketing is expensive. It can be very time consuming because it makes you think like, oh my God, is this working? Is this working? Is this working? Whereas branding is very time intensive as well, but it can be absolutely free, because you can use platforms like Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook to build your brand. And building your brand is going to be a way more powerful tool for you. Way more powerful? Sure. Way more powerful tool for you in your long-term success as a real estate agent. Because think about it. The stats show that 80% of buyers and sellers would definitely use their realtor again, but like 25% actually do, which is a complete shame. And that's because real estate agents don't build a strong enough brand to stay top of mind, so that when the time comes now, and some people are just horrible at maintaining relationships. And if you're watching this, it's probably not you, because you're already engaged in something and you're looking to grow and better yourself. But building your brand, it gets people talking about you. Your marketing piece is not going to be talked about as much as who you are as a person. Like, oh man, this person provided so much value to me the other day for free because they just get me inspired, or they really are the true local expert. I look forward every, third of the month to go read, Sally's market update with the color commentary of how things are going, because she's just the total market expert. Or, I can't wait to see Johnny's new video where he's going to, walk me through this part of a home inspection with his favorite home inspector. And I'm really learning and gaining that type of value. Those are the things that's going to build your brand as a real estate agent, because you want to be seen as a real estate expert more so than a real estate salesperson. If you focus in on marketing, you're going to be seen solely as a salesperson. And people are going to call you when they might call you when they need to buy or sell. But the minute you turn off that marketing, the leads are going to stop. People are going to stop calling you because they need that marketing to keep you there, because it doesn't last. Brands last. Marketing is just for that moment in time. If you build your brand, now people are going to call you for things, because they'll be like, oh, I remember that video that Matt did, and it talked about this one thing, and I kind of have an issue with that one thing. I'm going to call Matt for that advice. And then that's when you get into your conversations, when you get into your relationships with people, that's when you can then figure out if there is a time to actually sell anybody anything. The truth of the matter is, in this industry, people will sell themselves. If they need a home, or if they want a home, they're going to buy a home. If they need to sell or they want to sell, they're going to sell. It's our job to help guide them through that process. And if you want to be surrounded by people who need help, brand yourself as the person who helps. So what are the elements of good quality branding on stuff? Like what could you do like right now to get started? What you could do to get started right now in terms of branding is, if you have Instagram and you like Instagram and you want to use it, go on Instagram stories right now and introduce yourself to your followers. How many followers do you have? Reach out to them. How many people are you following? Reach out to them on direct message. If people, you see somebody commenting or liking a lot of your photos, send them a direct message. I connected with a real estate agent in Houston many, many months ago because he was liking a lot of my stuff. I sent him a message and said, hey, thanks so much for liking my stuff. I really appreciate it. It's really good to see that some people are watching this stuff. And we got in a little conversation. And then when Hurricane Harvey came through, I reached out to him. I was like, hey, I hope everything's great. If there's anything I can do, let me know. And he was good, all, home and everything was all safe. Which is good. And, it just feels good to have those connections. And that's all through just engaging with people on your platform. So get on your story and just introduce yourself. Get on Facebook Live and introduce yourself. A gentleman that I've been interacting with who lives in the UK just started this challenge going live for a few minutes on Facebook every day for an entire year. He's on day 6, I think, which is an incredible challenge to go live every day. And I kind of have this feeling that by the time he hits like day 30, it's going to be so easy for him. He'll probably even have a set time where he's going live. He'll always have stuff to talk about. It'll be great because that's what happens when you build routine into these things and you start sharing your story. It gets easier to talk to people. It gets easier to have these conversations. So start right now. Get on social media. Like as soon as we're done here, get on there, introduce yourself to the people who are following you. Go find out who's liking a lot of your photos. Reach out to them through the private messaging side of Instagram or Facebook and just say, hey, what's up? How's everything with you? It doesn't matter if they're buyers or sellers. Branding's about you as a person. You never know where business is going to come from. You never know who's going to be, sending you a referral or asking you for advice, or on the flip side, you asking for advice. And having those relationships is going to help. Branding is going to do that for you. So next time you're sitting there thinking, what's going to be my marketing strategy? First think to yourself, do I have a brand strategy? Do I know who I am as a person, how I want to present myself? Let me make sure I have that so that my marketing matches with the brand. Because once you have the brand down, then you make your marketing match your brand, which makes the marketing tie into that, makes the marketing a little more powerful, which makes it a lot easier to get to the selling portion of things because now people are just super duper uber comfortable with you. One last thing on that, another great tool that you can use for branding is BombBomb email video. All of you who are watching probably know that I'm a huge fan of that service. I use it every time you guys get a blog post email that is coming through BombBomb with the video. Getting face-to-face with people, nothing like it, particularly when it's an email where usually just text goes through. Yes, people still like to read stuff, so don't just exclusively go to video. Some people do like to read emails, and sometimes it's easier to communicate that way. But use that. That'll really help build your brand because you'll be in front of people's face more often. So if you're thinking about doing your monthly email newsletter and it's text and you're doing one, think about every now and then, or maybe doing a separate one in addition to that, where you have a video of you talking about, what's going on in your newsletter. Maybe it's a market update, and try to limit it to just a minute or two. Just, hey, here's the quick highlights, full details below. Just want to let you guys know that inventory is down. The price points are starting to creep up in the below $1 million range, and above that in the luxury market, things are still kind of stagnant, but we're seeing more buyers come out. Something like that. By the way, that's like a quick little market update of what's happening here in New Jersey. So that's what I have to say about branding versus marketing. Focus on your brand. The marketing will happen. Spend less money. Spend more time developing who you are, building those relationships. The marketing will then become way easier. You can spend less money on marketing, then more focused, targeted marketing, and that's going to work out really well. So all right, we're running up on about 3:30 here, so if anybody doesn't have any questions or anything, we'll probably wrap this up. I love seeing all you people in here. Hey, Mike. Hey, Barb. Carolyn. All right, so we'll do another one of these. I've been I got to take a little bit of my own advice here and do more of these and get out there, because this is only Listing Day Live number 4. And I think I started this months and months ago to try to do this on Listing Day, which is Wednesday, by the way. We'll explain that maybe in the next one. So yeah, we'll do another one of these. Keep crushing it out there. And I love seeing all the stuff that you guys are putting out there. Reach out to me, say hi on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. So I'm Matthew J. Benelli on Instagram, Facebook, obviously, because you're here. YouTube is Matt Benelli. So YouTube.com/C/Matt Benelli there. And MatthewJBenelli.com is probably the easiest way to get in touch and all this stuff. So have an awesome rest of your day, rest of your week. If you're watching this recorded later on, have an awesome rest of wherever you are, and just keep rolling in the real estate. See you all later.